Hi everyone, welcome to RPA Explorers channel.
Everyone are doing good, and in today's video we are going to see about logs, which is one of the important topic for all the activities or any kind of automations we build. As we know, logs are essential part when it comes to successful execution or failed execution to make sure that the processes run smoothly, efficiently without an error. So let's say assume that we have some error in the execution. So without having a log, we will not be able to know what kind of error has been thrown by the bot or what was the actual error occurred. But when you have logs in place for all the activities or all the workflows you can easily track the execution, and it is mainly helpful to troubleshoot your execution. So we have different levels of logs to log it based on the requirement we need. So let's see how you can use this log component. So if we go to the toolbox and type log or filter with logs, you have three different logs. So one which is RPA hub log, and utilities which is under debug console log, and you have one more connector which is an event log. So this event log is something which comes with a system requirement log. When you have some issue with your operating system or any application or hardware in your personal system, you could use this to subscribe to an event or unsubscribe or get the log file. So let's take the one under this console log, this one which is log from RPA hub. So this is debug. So as the name suggests, it is used only when you're debugging your process or running your process from studio. This log which from RPA hub is used to weave the logs in the RPA hub for the process you built in studio. Only one input parameter which is message of type string. Okay, so now let's use this console log. So let's track this. I'm a console log. So I'm just going to run this. Okay, this is executed. In order to weave this console log, go to the weave panel. So here you have console log and execution log. So just click on this console log where you will be able to see your actual message from this particular debug log. As I mentioned, this will be helpful only when you are running your process from studio. Okay, and you also have something called execution log, right? So if I go to the and also here you have this execution log. This give you the high level execution log for the entire process or an automation, where you get the time and the activity on which the process is running, and then the actual component. In case you have any error, it will show you the component and the error message. For example, let me use this component which is called throw. Take this throw error, and I'm just randomly giving some value for this example. Okay, now let me run this. So now I have an error, and here you can weave the time. So the activity is logs, as it's just logging it, and you have the component which is from throw error, and you will be able to see the actual error message. So this is about this debug one. Let's use this log one. So randomly I have added some text. Let me run this. Okay, so when I run this log on my studio, it gives you an error on top of this component that it captures the execution details only during the actual execution of the process job. So this process job is nothing but when you run the specific process from RPA hub, you will be able to see the process jobs, the logs for this job, by clicking on this number for each execution details. Like here, whenever you run a process, an automatic number will get created. Click on that number, you will be able to see all the logs whichever you log it with the help of this log component for that specific process in the studio. And here you'll also able to weave the execution start time, end time, and the levels as well. That way you will be able to see the levels, time, and everything in this number as well. So if possible, I'll try to attach a screenshot like how the process jobs, how does the process job logs look like. If you have any error and exception, you could also go with this. And also, it not just you always have a constant string on your console log or your log message. You can map some variable value to your message, and then that particular message can be weaved in your execution log or your automation log. So here, let's say that I have a variable which is like boolean exception or something. Okay, and now I want to set the value to be true. So whenever I log it, I want to log the current value of boolean exception to my log message as well. So what I can do is, I can go to this transform data and here let's say the current value of boolean exception is, so basically this value is something, the variable which you map it. So here I am going to map the variable which is global boolean exception. I have provided the string in the double quotes and appended with the value. So here you have to map the variable which is this boolean exception. Okay, let's run this. Basically we'll not be able to view it as I was mapped to the log variable. So let's map the same variable to the console log and view the message. I'll copy it. Let's take the console log. So whenever you are mapping that variable, make sure that you're transforming it. By directly providing the constant value, you will not be able to map the correct variable. Okay, this is done. So here you can leave the value which is true. If you set the value to be false, that also you will be able to see it. Okay, so you can make use of this log or component based on your requirement along with the variables or any other additional parameters or whatever you want. Okay, let's look at the property for both these component, and let's take the console log. So here if you want to just have some delay before and after execution, you can enable it, and also you can enable the timeout if required. And coming to the logs, you have this additional option which is the log level. If you are running a process from studio or an automation process, you cannot differentiate it and have two different logs every time you publish it, right? So for that, what you can do is, we have this component which is called is running from studio or is running desktop in desktop something. So, and this option is available under debug. What you can do is, you can just take this option is running from studio, and basically whenever you run the process from studio, this will give you the true value. Let me run this. So this is true, but the same component, when it is executing from an RPA process job, it will be returning a value called false. So what you can do is, you can use this is running from studio and then add a decision is from, okay, so I'm just mapping it, and now here it is running from studio. So in that case, I just want to debug my log. Okay, if it is not running from studio, I just want to log it, which is basically in the RPA hub. So in that way, you can weave the logs either from the studio or also from your process job. So which is the simplest way to handle it, handle the logging purpose easily. So when I run this, it just go with this, and yes, it is running from the studio, and you'll be able to see the console log. And make sure that you have the same log for that way, you will be able to see the same logs in the studio as well as in the RPA process jobs. Hope you guys find this video useful. In case, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, and also don't forget to hit the like button so that it could recommend to more people as well. So thank you so much for watching this video till the end.